Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Magdalena and I have a crochet small business, so I'm on Etsy and Instagram. Go check me out if you want. But this is my first time crocheting a sweater. I have this giant ball of yarn here, so I figured I would kind of film the process for you and tell you all my thoughts because I've never made a sweater before. I was thinking that this is my first clothing piece I've ever done, but I made like a granny square top before, so it's not really, but that was granny square, so it was a lot different. But yeah, I rarely ever make clothing, so this will be interesting to see how it goes. I got commissioned by my friend to make this, so that's why I'm making it. I do want to make a folklore cardigan because I have a pattern for that, so that's probably something that I will do as well, but I don't know, sweaters just don't interest me that much. So I started this ribbing piece, this is where I am, and then I'm starting to do this first row. It's, you chain 3 to get the height, and then you double crochet all the way across, and you basically just do that for a bunch of rows. And this sweater is inspired by a character from Undertale, and so I'll put a picture of it up here. I'm using the tutorial from Siren's Crochet, and the sizing is a little bit different, but I'm basically just I'm gonna keep doing all of these blue rows, and then since it is for my friend, and we have lunch together every day, I'm just gonna bring it to him and hold it up so that we can see, because you could probably see in those photos that it's there's the rows of pink, and so based on where it fits the character, but also Siren's daughter, because that's who she made the sweater for, that's when I'll start the pink, when it's sort of hitting those places on my friend's body. That's when I'll switch to pink and see how many rows I have to do. Siren does specify how many rows you're supposed to do of each color, but obviously since it's a clothing piece, you have to make sure it fits the person how it's supposed to fit the person. So that's why I don't take commissions for sweaters on Etsy or from people I don't know, because I'm still new to making clothes, so I'm not comfortable measuring it if I can't hold it up every step of the way. So this is what it's looking like so far, and then I'll update you on how it's going in a little bit. I just finished the first row of the normal crochet, the double crochets. And oh my gosh, this is testing my confidence. People just pulled in right next to us. This is the first time I've filmed when people are actually around. They're not even looking. Anyway, so this is the first row, and obviously I'm hoping that it will stretch a little bit more, and I've been watching Kim and Kane's videos a lot, and it's been really motivating me to get a steamer, especially if I'm making clothes now. But I think it's just good to have anyway. And so anyway, this is what the first row looks like, and I'm just gonna, like I said, keep going. Anyway, this is the first row, and I'll update you in hopefully a while. So it's about a month after that last clip was filmed. As you can see, I'm outside, and I'm actually in California. I'm on vacation right now, but I live in New Jersey, so it was a 6-hour flight, and I did work a lot on the sweater, but I planned to work on it the entire flight, right? I was like, oh, this is a 6-hour flight, this will be a super good project to work on. I didn't want to bring something that had a lot of yarn because I could only bring one bag and it had to fit under the seat. And even though that skein of yarn is big, it squishes. So I figured I'd bring this one because it's just the blue and the pink yarn. And it's just double crochet rows. And then, obviously at some point you have to switch colors, but I already had that written down on my phone. I didn't have to worry about finding the pattern without Wi-Fi. So I knew I was good. I knew this was a good project to bring, and it was. However, I was working on it on the plane, and I got I got all of this blue section done. I got the first pink section done, and I was starting the blue section, and I was like, oh no, I didn't start the blue section, but I was like, this is just, it's shrinking. It was just like, you know, if you crochet, you know, just like decreasing on the sides. And so I didn't know what I was doing wrong, but what I think is I was like, when I did the three chains on each side of the row, I was counting that as a stitch, and so I didn't what's the word, like, so I was basically skipping a stitch, because I would do that and then I would skip a stitch, which I didn't think was wrong. I thought it was what I was supposed to be doing, and I was staying consistent with doing that in multiple rows, but since I was essentially skipping a stitch, like, I didn't really think it through, and I thought that's what the pattern had said, so it was really decreasing, and I think I got down to like 48 stitches, and I'm supposed to have 60, so I was like, oh, like, that's really wrong. Because here's the thing, is at one point I thought I was increasing. I had 62 stitches, and I was like, that's weird. And I swear, I actually haven't gone back and watched the video, but I swear she said to chain into this, stitch into the chain, but that I thought was increasing it because I was at 62 stitches. So then I was just sort of like trying out different methods and stuff. Anyway, I have been talking for a while, but I had decreased. So then I frogged it all. Not all of it. I frogged it, I think, like, back to like 11 rows of the blue or something like that, because I started with 11 rows of the blue. I frogged it, and then my elbow was also hurting, like, from crocheting so much, and so I decided to stop for a while, and then I got sleepy, and then I ate dinner, which took some time, and I don't know, I guess I just kind of, well, then we were like flying over like mountains and stuff, so I was honestly just like looking out the window and talking to my dad and stuff, and so I just didn't crochet for the rest of the flight, so I did not get as much done as I wanted to. Well, I would have, if it wasn't all, there's a fly, sorry, if it wasn't decreasing, then I would have had a lot of it done, but I had to frog it and restart. So this is where I am currently. I got back up and I finished I got back up to the blue, and then now I'm working on the pink, and this is 6 rows, I think, 6 or 8 rows, something like that. So I'm gonna do that, and then, I don't know, I'm just gonna work for a while. We're here for about a week, a little less than a week now. Wow, time is flying. But I am just sort of like, as we're driving to different places, I'm gonna keep bringing this with me, and I don't think I'll crochet on the way home because it's a red eye and I really do need to sleep, because we get back home at like 7 a.m. all the time, so it really, like, it's overnight. I need to sleep. So I don't think I'll crochet then, but I plan to crochet throughout this entire week, and this, like I said, this is the only project I have with me, so if I want to crochet, this is it. So I actually really don't know when I'll update you next. It just depends when I get the time to film. Who knows, maybe it'll even be when I'm home, but this is what it's looking like so far. I have 1 row of the pink, and I'm starting the second one over here. Hello, it is the next day, and I've been working a lot on the sweater. I finished the pink section, and then I'm working on the next blue one. And I want to show you how it looks on me. Okay, I'm working with what I have, but I put you a little lower so you can see. So, like, this is the bottom of my shirt, like a shirt that fits me normally. So if I put that here, then the sweater's already here, and I have to do 2 more rows of blue, 6 more rows of pink, and 6 more rows of blue. So, like, it's gonna be way too long. Even if I, like, right now it's a little bit lower than my shirt. You really can't see. Yes, you can. I lied. So, like, it's gonna be really long. So what I decided I'm gonna do is I'm going to just make the entire panel. I think my hook size might be a little too big, but I'm just gonna make the entire panel, and then like how the pattern is written, and then based on how long it is, like if I'm like, oh, like this is like 6 rows too long, then I'll take 6 rows out throughout the entire thing, but make it so that the sections are still even and like proportionate to how they should be. But it's looking really cute so far. I just figured it would be easier for me to make the whole thing and then take out however many rows, rather than like try to go back a few rows and then like do 3 rows of pink and 3 rows of like, just like do the math all at once rather than like experimenting. So this is what it's looking like so far. I'm just gonna finish the panel, and then I'll tell you how many like rows I'm gonna take out and how I'm gonna go about that process when I get there. Hi, it's a few days later. I don't actually remember when I filmed the last clip, but I am still on vacation, and I finished the first panel, but like I said, it's way too long. So here's what it looks like. Hang on a sec. So here's what it looks like. I'm gonna try to show you how it fits me. Right, so this is a sweatshirt I have on, and I feel like this is this is where my pants are, and it's just like a little lower than that, which I feel like is a good length for like, this is like slightly oversized. Maybe it would be a little bit longer, right? So I actually did end up frogging it, which I knew I was gonna do, but I forgot to film before I frogged it. So this is still missing like a few rows because I took them out already, but like it was way too long. It probably went down to like here on me. So it was pretty long. It was 27 inches. So I'm gonna have my friend measure himself, like, you know, from like up here to like however long he's gonna want it to fit. And then I know how big each row is about an inch. So we'll just take out however many rows I need to make it the length that my friend wants it. And then, but the way I'll do it is I won't just like take out the like top 6 rows or whatever it is. Like if there's 6 rows, I'll take them out, like 1 from each section. But for now, I'm just gonna frog it, and I'm gonna frog all the way back to, like, I'm gonna take out all of this. So I'll leave all of the blue, the first section of blue, and then if I need to take out more, well, I know I need to take out more, but then I will after that, once I get the measurements. Hello, it is a few weeks later and I'm back from vacation, but I finally finished the first panel of the sweater. So here it is. I did measure my friend once I got home, and he wanted it to be 21 inches, but originally it was 27, so I had to take off 6 inches, and that equaled to like 10 rows. I measured 6 inches on what I had already done of the sweater, and that was 10 rows. So that worked out nicely, because if you can see on the sweater, there's 5 sections, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I ended up just taking out 2 rows in each section. So it's 14 rows of blue, and then 4, 4, 4, 4. Originally it was, no, sorry, it's 16 rows of blue, and then 4, 4, 4, 4. And then I think the other panel will have 6 rows of blue at the top, so it's a little bit bigger. But yeah, this is the update. It's still oversized because that's the way that my friend wants it, but I am very proud of myself for finishing one panel and figuring out all that math. So I will hopefully have an update for you pretty soon with the next panel, because it's just a bunch of rows of double crochet, so it doesn't actually take that long. This one just took me longer because first of all I had a bunch of orders to get done and I was market prepping and stuff, and then also it was decreasing, so then I had to take it out, and then I did it and then it was too long, so I had to take it out. So that process was a lot of trial and error, but now that I've done it once, I think the second panel will go much quicker. Today is May 8th. I don't remember exactly when I filmed the last clip, but it was only a few days ago. And I just finished the back panel. So the back panel has 6 rows of blue up here, and the front panel only has 4. It's just to accommodate for like however you do the neckline, which I honestly don't remember how to do, and I'm gonna look up the next steps, but whatever comes next in video is what I'm gonna be working on. This process obviously went much quicker this time. I didn't have to redo it so many times, because like I said with the first one, first of all it shrunk and then it was too long, so but yeah, it took me an hour and a half basically to do one of these panels, an hour and 26 minutes I think, so to do one of these panels. And I think I wrote that it was an hour 15 for the first panel. I didn't time myself doing the first panel, but the way I'm figuring it out is I made this panel and I was timing myself the whole time, and when I got up to 4 rows of the blue up top, that's what I said my time was for the front panel, because that's what the front panel is essentially, and then the back one has just 2 more rows, so I kept the timer going, and that's what took me to an hour and 26 minutes. So yeah, like I said, I don't remember what is next in the tutorial, but I'm going to look it up and see whatever's next. But I do have some birthday presents to work on, so I might not work on this for a little bit, so we'll see. Okay, so now I'm working on the neck. This is what it looks like. So there's like decreases on this side, and that's basically why you do 2 fewer rows on the front. So I guess the last time I filmed was when I was doing this neckline. So I did that, and then I connected the 2 pieces, stitched up the sides but left a gap for the arms, and then I had my friend test it to make sure that the armholes were going to be big enough, and then I started this sleeve. So it doesn't quite fit me because obviously it's not my measurements, it's my friend's measurements, but so I made sure that the sleeve was long enough, and when I tested it, it wasn't quite long enough, but according to my measurements it should be about 17 inches. So that's what this is now. I finished it, so you can see the full arm. I have short arms and really skinny wrists, so this is a little big on me, but I just finished the entire sleeve right now. And then I have the other sleeve and then neckline, and then I'll be finished. But our last day of school was on Tuesday, and because I was working on other projects that needed to be done by a certain time, I have not been able to test this full on because I just did this today. So I made this what I think is going to be a good size and a good length, and I'm going to do the other arm because I know the length is right. It's just a question of whether this needs to be skinnier or not. So if it does, I'm going to see my friend on Saturday, and I'll have them test it then. And if it's too big then, I'll just redo the little cuffs and decrease it even more. But I think it's good. I just have to do this next arm. So that's my next step, and I'll probably see you when I'm done with that, and then I'll do the neckline. Okay, I have finished the entire base of the sweater. I still have to weave in the ends, but This is what it's looking like. So it's inside out right now because I'm about to start weaving in all of the ends, but I'm very proud of how it turned out, and yeah, I'm hoping to give it to my friend tomorrow if I can get the ends weaved in, because I'm going to see them tomorrow. I guess I'll put like a little compilation of me weaving in on the ends, and then I'll give you a final try on of me wearing it. But if I get permission from my friend, then I can also insert some photos of her wearing it. I've been timing it this whole time, so before I end this video, I will make sure to tell you how long it took me. Hello, this is Editing Magdalena popping in to say that I recorded this video so long ago and I transferred it. I was editing on CapCut, then I downloaded part of it into my camera roll, transferred it to my computer. It was a whole mess, but I'm finally getting around to fully editing it now, and I think some clips must have gotten lost, including one that was the like final, like, here's what the sweater looks like. So I don't have a clip of that. In the next clip, I'm just wrapping up the video, but I'm wearing the sweater so you can see what it looks like. So that is it for today's video. Overall, I am extremely happy with how this turned out. You can see like a few little holes and gaps here and there, but for my first sweater, I am very proud of it. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!